Rain, rain, rain. For a landscape photographer, there are few things that put a damper on your enthusiasm like wet weather. Dreary, rainy days are even worse when you're trying to photograph one of the most beautiful places in the world. I've been lucky to dodge the worst of the storm so far on my Fiordland trip, but that was about to change. A days-long rainstorm was due to hit the area, and I knew if I stuck around, both my camera gear and I would end up soaked. It left me with a clear question. Do I tuck tail and run, or do I embrace the challenge and attempt to photograph the spectacular Fiordland National Park in a thunderous downpour? For me, there was only one answer to that question.
So this here is the Hollyford River, and it's impressive because not only does it drain so many of these massive glacial cirques that surround me, it also has this unbelievably blue crystalline color to it that I find just gobsmackingly gorgeous. Now, this is as far as I've ever been down the Hollyford Valley. This is the Lake Marion track. Get here by crossing one of these really cool little swing bridges. So everything that I do from this point onwards, I jump back in my car and head down the valley, is going to be terra incognita, and I cannot wait to see what I find. This spot is literally like a minute down the road from where I just was. God, this place is so ridiculous. This scene is just way too stinking beautiful to not take a picture. So I got my camera set up here with the 10 stop and a polarizer on there because I really want to get under that water, bring out that blue color, and also enhance that amazing blueness and the motion here in the stream. So that's giving me about a 40-second shutter speed. Here's the final photo. Look at all this creamy blue goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo-wee. I ended up swapping out the 10 stop for the 6 stop, and I like that look a lot better. Allowed the smoothness in the water, but a lot of detail and sharpness in the trees and the sky. Beautiful, beautiful scene, but this has gone super gray up here. There's no more light on this. So let's head downstream, chase a little bit of sunlight, see if we can get some dynamicism, some tonal contrast, some lights and darks going on here.
I didn't even drive 15 feet before I looked out at the river and I saw something else. I literally just started the car, drove 2 seconds, and stopped again. I mean, what the flip is this? All right, it's actually okay, it's fine. It's just some rapids, and it can't get down to the river anyway because there's a big old side tributary blocking access. So this gives me a good metric, actually, of when to stop and when not to stop. If I stop for every little rapid that I pass, I'm gonna be here the next 72 years. So I have a little bit of a higher bar to clear. I'm gonna start looking for really unique spots where you have epic views of the mountains above the river. You know, sometimes scouting is real fun and cool and exciting. You're finding stuff that inspires you, gets you stoked. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like this, where you're just sort of trying to bash your way through the forest to see if you can get to the river, to get to a view because you have an idea of what you want to see. River, trees, huge mountains, and you end up in a swamp or at a place that just doesn't quite live up to your hopes. But that is the dance. You want to find that awesome dance partner, you got to go through a lot of mediocre ones first. Pretty happy I got my gumboots on. Just wade through a lot of these creeks to get down to the river here. It's taken on a lot more of a glacial feel to it. It's lost that crystalline clear blue. It's still amazingly blue, but it's got that milky feel to it now because it's full of all this glacial sediment coming down from all these valleys. Yeah, this is getting pretty cool down here. Big views up into these glacial cirques, big beech trees, wide open skies as well. There's a lot of potential here, but still finding that real gold nugget in amongst all of the fool's gold. It's always the endless challenge. I guess if you're a deer in Fiordland, this is just your day-to-day life. In and out of the forest, along the creeks, back in the forest, back in the creek. It's an exhausting one, man. But I'm getting close. I think I'm gonna reach my objective here. And after all that work, the survey says the view is pretty good. Not bad. One spot among a possible million zillion. Now, gotta get back to the car. There are certainly some incredible scenes here with tons of potential, but the light itself has just gone so flat and boring and dull. It's uninteresting. Not to mention, I am getting hungry and tired, so I think I'm going to curtail this scouting for now, because there's one more thing that I want to check out down the valley that I think is going to be really, really cool, and I want to show it to you. And then sometimes you feel like a total goob because you drive literally 30 seconds down the road and find even better views than the one you had just scouted available within spitting distance of the car. I mean, come on. Mother Nature, I dig your sense of humor, girl. The light is so boring right now that unless something really miraculous happens, which of course is always a possibility here in Fiordland, I'm considering my photography done for the day. However, there is one thing that is common in some of the more remote tracks here in Fiordland that is so cool that I really want to show you. So I'm going to head off into the bush somewhere called Moraine Creek. You can hear running water in the background. That's a hint. As you can see, this track is incredibly overgrown, poorly maintained, and seldom traveled. And yet, the Department of Conservation has provided a way to bridge the creek that I'm about to get to. What kind of bridge might they provide for such a remote, unused, and rugged trail? Well, it's pretty remote and rugged itself. Let me show you. This is what's called a walk wire or a 3-wire bridge, because you have only 3 wires, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. And you simply, using the power of tension and good balance, head out 1 foot in front of the other on that single strand of cable, holding yourself with the top wires and making sure as hell you do not slip off of the bottom wire. How good is old J. Cripp's balance? Well, you're about to find out. It's a truly incredible and yet mildly insane way to get through the New Zealand bush. And I, for one, absolutely love it. Even though I've never been down here, I knew about this walk wire because this track has been on my New Zealand bucket list for many years. I've always wanted to get to this place, Lake Adelaide, but as you can see, it's quite a distance from here, 7 to 9 hours. So I am not going to continue on. Instead, I'm going to head back to the car, grab some dinner, and find a place to camp for the night.
All right, I'm just getting back to the car and the skies have opened up and the rain is coming down. It's a very fitting place to end today. But don't go anywhere because tomorrow morning I have one last thing that I want to do before I leave Fiordland National Park. And for that, the rain is actually a good thing. So stick around and I'll see you in the morning.
Hey there, this is Nick Stover, the founder of Nature Photography Collective, inviting you to join the collective itself. We have a library of over 100 nature speakers, an incredibly active community where you can interact with other photographers from around the world, and we add new talks, new speakers almost every week. Plus, you can be part of live Q&As, online editing clinics, and be notified before anyone else of new in-field workshops. You can get full details on our website, www.naturephotocollective.com, and you can use code SOCIALS10 to save up 10% off your membership. Hope to see you there. Thanks so much.
This morning I've come back to the Claddow River Valley, and it's been raining steadily here for the last 12 to 14 hours. As you can see, the waterfalls have really come back to life. It's extraordinary to see hundreds of 2,000-foot cascades tumbling off these cliffs. But today, I'm not gonna be photographing them from here on the land. Oh no, I'm gonna be photographing them from a boat, the Maiden of Milford, and for the next 2 hours I'm going to be cruising through the fjord on this vessel. Now most people would want a beautiful sunny day to see the sights and wonders of Milford Sound, but this storm has given me a photographic opportunity that I just cannot pass up. The idea of hundreds of waterfalls tumbling down these sheer cliffs directly into the ocean, that is just so cool. I'm very, very excited. It's already incredibly moody, beautiful, and stormy out here. I can see rain flying across the fjord with a few breaks in the sky, and it's getting me really excited for the photographic possibilities. As always, Mother Nature is going to have the final say over what happens out here, but I get the feeling that no matter what, today is going to be a beautiful day.
In some ways, it's almost ideal conditions out here. Breaks in the clouds. I can actually almost see the sun up here. Huge squalls of rain coming through. It's very, very dynamic conditions. Difficult to shoot in, but stunningly beautiful. Let me get out from my hiding hole there. You can see what we're looking at. Look at all these waterfalls everywhere. Sterling Falls over there, absolutely charging today. Cannot wait to get an up-close look at that a little bit later. Just coming up on a place called Windy Point. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you can see it coming through the ocean and just absolutely terrific. This has been an unbelievably exciting trip so far. It really has had everything you could ask for on a Milford cruise. We've had waterfalls, rainbows, penguins, seals, a guy talking over my vlog. That's the captain. But one of the most exciting and dynamic things is still to come, which is Sterling Falls. I could see it absolutely charging, raging, falling off the cliff on the other side as we came up the fjord, and we're about to get back to it. It's just an absolute deluge of water. It's gonna be really hard to photograph, but I'm gonna give it a shot. That was absolutely extraordinary. The waterfall was pumping, pounding, blasting spray, impossible to shoot. But we stayed under there minutes, the longest I've ever been under the waterfall in some of the most interesting and fun conditions. So I'll have to go back and check and see if I have any photos at all or if it's just a sheet of water on the front of my lens. But what a wonderful experience. What a cool way to cap off this entire trip here in Fiordland.
after an experience like that, there's really not much I can say except, wow. And to extend my huge thanks to Fiordland National Park, which has given me so much beauty over the last 3 days. I hope you've enjoyed the series of videos from this corner of New Zealand. Maybe it's inspired you to come out here and do some photography. If you'd like to check out my photo tours here in New Zealand, you can go to my website, joshuacripps.com, and maybe we'll be photographing here together someday. But for now, this is Joshua Cripps signing off. Until next time, have fun and happy shooting. Greetings, my excellent friends. I'm Joshua Cripps, and this is Australia.